everybody in me. Everybody get up on your feet. See the light in everybody in me. Let us be reminded who we come to be. We are love, we are one, one big family. Hey, hey, yeah, yeah. Hey, 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 yeah, yeah. Here we go. Everybody get up on your feet. See the light in everybody in me. Oh, hey, sweetie. Everybody get up on your feet. See the light in everybody in me. Let us be reminded of who we've come to be. We are love, we are one, one big family. Hey, hey, yeah, yeah. Hey, 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 yeah, yeah. Say hello to somebody around you. Hi, David. How are you? Here we go. Everybody get up on your feet. See the light in everybody you meet. Everybody get up on your feet. See the light in everybody you meet. Let us be reminded of who we've come to be. We are love, we are one, one big family. Hey, hey, yeah, yeah. Hey, 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 yeah, yeah. Hey, hey, hey.
Oh, good morning. Oh my God, she is just so adorable. Oh, 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 so cute, so cute. That's our future there. That's our future. Good morning, everyone. It's good. Yay! Good to see everybody this morning. A wonderful day in the neighborhood, right? So let's just start with our affirmation and our vision together, please. We are a positive faith community that accepts all religions. Our vision is spiritual awakening and personal growth in a world that works for everyone. Our mission is to help individuals discover the spiritual tools and inner power that has the ability to transform lives and make the world a better place. Amen. Amen. So let's see what's happening this week. Next Sunday, Carol Davis is having over in Costa Hall after the second service a meeting. So anybody who is interested, that you can give up 2 hours a month on Sunday to go over and assist in the youth church. Our youth department is growing, but we need help. And Carol just can't do it by herself. You know, and just like that little girl there, that is our future. This is the future. And so wouldn't you like to have grown up in this teaching? Right? And so we want these children to, and Carol does such a fabulous job with the lesson every week, and she's teaching them affirmations and meditation and prayers and just about loving themselves and honoring and loving everyone. It's a great program. Get involved. It'd be a wonderful way to be of service. We are still collecting backpacks for our children that we already have children back in school, so please continue bringing in your backpacks. You can bring them into the office or drop them off out here on Sunday. And Kathy Dogood is not going to be here this Friday, so she won't be having her class. So you come back the following Friday, Kathy? 2 weeks. All right, 2 weeks. And then don't forget your Amazon.smile, your smile account, putting Center for Spiritual Living Palm Desert as your nonprofit. It really does help the center. And I think that's it. We have a fabulous artist today, really beautiful. You're going to love his music. And he's got CDs out there, Kevin does out there, and so you might want to stop by afterwards. But I'll let Jerry Lynn tell you because he's got quite an impressive resume.
All righty then. Thank you. Good morning, everybody. Happy Sunday to you once again. We have such a treat in store for you today. This gentleman was on Broadway, and he traveled for 7 years with the tour of the show Wicked. Yeah. And coming up soon, very soon, a brand new show that's going to start at the Amundsen in Los Angeles, which is written by Steve Martin and Edie Brickell, it's called Bright Star. It's a bluegrass musical, so he's going to be part of that as well, which I love. He's also a phenomenal acting coach and teaching right here in the Valley at the CV Rep Theater. You might want to check that out. Anyway, a fabulous singer, actor, wonderful human being. We just love him. Today's his first time with us. Give him a round of applause for Kevin McMahon.
Good morning. There's a new world coming, and it's just around the bend. There's a new world coming, this one's coming to an end. There's a new voice calling, you can hear it if you try, and it's growing stronger with each day that passes by. There's a brand new morning, rising soft and clear and free. There's a new day dawning that belongs to you and me. Yes, a new world coming, the one we've been waiting for, coming in peace, coming in joy, coming in love. Yes, a new world coming, the one we've been waiting for, coming in peace, coming in joy, coming in love, 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 love. It's easy. All you need is love. All you need is love. All you need is love, love. Love is all you need. All you need is love. All you need is love. All you need is love, love. Love is all you need. Coming in peace, coming in joy, coming in love, coming in love, coming in love.
Kevin
Beautiful,
McMahon.
Kevin. Beautiful. Good morning. Let's go to work, yeah? All right, let's close our eyes. Take a deep breath in. And on the exhale, I want you to sigh. Yep. Always say, liken it like you just finished cleaning the garage. You take a look at you, go. One more time, deep breath in. Imagine, if you would, the things that you would like to get rid of in your life. Picture them putting them all into a little box. Any kind of struggle or strife or illness or preconceived ideas, emotionally charged issues. Just imagine one by one placing them inside of a little box. And imagine giving that box over to an energy, a source for good, a healing source, a source and a power that's always there, always present. What would it feel like if you just gave that up? So just hold that idea in your mind right now. Hold that idea that indeed it's okay to keep things in the box and just surrender them. Allowing yourself to experience something new that will come forward as a result of you giving up everything in that little box. Any anger, fear, resentments, pile them in. Take a deep breath in. All to Spirit I surrender. All to Thee I freely give. I will always love and trust You. In Your presence daily live. All to Spirit I surrender. All that's good is wholly mine. In Your presence, in this oneness, through You I am power divine, and I surrender all. I surrender all. All to Thee, my blessed Spirit, I surrender all.
So I surrender all into that place of the one love, one heart, one mind. That place I call God, the secret, sacred place of the Most High deep within. And as I know I'm in that place, I know this for each and every person gathered here and each and every person gathered that can hear the sound of my voice. And I recognize that I am love. I am compassion. I am kindness. It begins with me. So within, so without. So if I am not those things, what is it that I'm giving out to the world? In a world that seems to be going mad, I must be that love. And if I am not that love, I need to be the call for love. It is within me, it is me, works through me and as me. So I know that being in this place of receptivity, being in this place of openness and communication, being in this place of knowingness that God is all there is. There is nothing but God, nothing in addition to God. God is it. God is love, love is God. There is nothing else. So anything else showing up in my world must be released and let go. It must be healed. So this is a call for healing right here and right now, to heal that from within that needs to be healed. And that lesson is deeply ingrained within my mind. And I see it, and I feel it, and I hear it, and I know it for the world today, knowing that this is the place to begin, for it is the place of love. And I recognize today that all that have made this celebration this morning happen and become, there is gratitude flowing forth for that, for our musicians, for all those that help with the sound and the video and the various lighting and all the things that are happening behind the scenes, the people we don't always see and the people we don't always acknowledge and recognize, that there is great love there as well. for our practitioners and for our ministers who are here 365 days, 24/7 to listen and to hear your prayer so that we might fall back into alignment with that place of love. And for Dr. Joe, whom is that vessel today and whom the Spirit speaks and brings the word, that we know that there is great learning and great wisdom that comes forth. There can be nothing else. For God is love, and love is God. So for the beauty, for the compassion, for the kindness, for all that is absolutely known, I release my word into law, knowing that it is already so. And if you're in agreement with me, please join by saying, and so it is. Amen.
I surrender all. I surrender all to thee, my blessed Spirit. I surrender all, and I surrender all. I surrender all to thee, my blessed Spirit. I surrender all to thee, my blessed Spirit. I surrender all. Let's take a deep breath in. Get ready, my soul. I'm diving in. Get ready, my soul. I'm diving in to the deepest kind of love, to the sweetest kind of life. Get ready, my soul. Please join me. Get ready, my soul. I'm diving in. Get ready, my soul. I'm diving in to the deepest kind of love, to the sweetest kind of life. Get ready, my soul. Get ready, my soul.
So many things we can't control, so many hurts that happen every day, so many heartaches that pierce the soul, so much pain that won't ever go away. How can we make it better? How can we make it through? What can we do when there's nothing we can do? We can be kind. We can take care of each other. We can remember that deep down inside we all need the same thing. And maybe we'll find, if we are there for each other, that together we'll weather whatever tomorrow may bring. Nobody really wants to fight. Nobody really wants to go to war. If everyone wants to make things right, what are we always fighting for? Does nobody want to see it? Does nobody understand? The power to heal is right here in our hands. We can be kind. We can take care of each other. We can remember that deep down inside we all need the same thing. And maybe we'll find, if we are there for each other, that together we'll weather whatever tomorrow may bring. And it's not enough to talk about it, not enough to sing a song. We must walk the walk about it, you and I, do or die. We've got to try to get along. We can be kind, we can take care of each other. We can remember that deep down inside we all need the same thing. And maybe we'll find, if we are there for each other, that together we'll weather whatever tomorrow may bring. And maybe we'll find true peace of mind if we always remember we can be kind.
Wow. Kevin. Wow. That was beautiful, Kevin. Man, wasn't that great? Let's hear it for Kevin and the band. They always do such a nice job. Don't mean to pick up you here. They always do such a nice job. Wow. Perfect song, too, huh? Wow, fits perfectly. All right, my talk title today is Kindness Toward Ourselves, and we're talking about the continued idea of love, compassion, and caring. And actually, I'm really not so concerned about my title today because there's just been so much going on in the world that I just, anyone else feel like we want to talk about that to kind of work our way through it in a spiritual way? So here is your affirmation for today. Now, it's a little longer than an affirmation, but there's some statements in here that I think are pretty profound. I think we need to focus on them. So let's go through the first time together. The universe can never be defeated. Everything in life is the process of a higher idea unfolding. I belong in the scheme of the universe. There's nothing to be afraid of. I am safe. So let's talk about that for a minute. I kind of have goosebumps because, I'm always on the verge of crying anyway. I'm so upset with everything that's going on. I'm so confused about everything going on. I'm bewildered and going, okay, why are we going through all of this again? You know, I'm 54 years old, and for some of you that's young, for some of you that's old, right? But I can tell you in my 54 years, I don't ever remember a time when I've been so confused about and wondering, why is all this happening right now? Why are we going through all of this angst? And then I have to remember that the universe can never be defeated. I think it was Einstein who said, God doesn't play with dice. Right? This is not a game. This is happening. It's very real. But the universe cannot be defeated in this process. And everything in life is a process of something greater unfolding. Sometimes it's really hard to see that, especially when you're sitting in the middle of it. It's hard to identify with it. It's hard to say, oh yeah, I see the good in this, when really all you see at the moment is a bunch of stuff going on that you just want to scream and say, stop it. Why is this happening? Stop it. Anyone else? Yay, okay, good. But the thing is, and here's where the spiritual challenge comes for me. Everybody belongs in the universal scheme. Everybody. Even people I don't agree with. And they seem to be really catching our attention lately. But I have to understand that it's part of a universal plan unfolding for a higher and greater good. So they actually serve a purpose as well. It's waking a lot of people up right now. And whether I like the methodology in which the alarm has gone off, I'm going to like the end result because I have to know that love is going to prevail because there's nothing to be afraid of. You and I are safe. We have to know that. We have to believe that, and we have to welcome everyone else to the circle of our safety. And it's going to be a challenge right now because there are some people we don't want in the circle. We're pissed off. We're angry at them. We have an issue with them, right? But we have to know that they belong in part of the universal scheme too. Now, how do we get there in love? How do we pull them into a place? How do we teach everyone that everything is part of a universal plan unfolding for a higher and greater good? And how do we relieve that pressure so that everyone comes from a place of love? What can we do? Work has to be done. We can't just say it doesn't exist. One interesting thing about this whole process that it seems like every single week I'm saying, oh my God, I didn't know that this existed too. And now it comes up. It's got to be coming up for what Kevin's saying, that beautiful song. There's that new world unfolding. There's something new that's happening. If that's indeed the case, then this has to be part of it. And that's got to be part of the reason why something like this has to happen. It can't be arbitrary because that's like saying God is arbitrary. God doesn't make mistakes, right? This is all happening for a divine idea to unfold. It may be uncomfortable to experience, but man, that's what's happening. Perfect expression embodies the idea that God is the source and source of all supply, and that supply can meet any and every demand. We have to know that as this universal imbalance takes place, there is a universal balance to meet its demand. And we have to believe in that, and we have to know that for everything that is required in your personal life, whether it be health or relationships or your finances or your job or whatever it is, as well as the bigger scheme of what's going on in our country and our world, we have to know that there is a universal, unlimited supply of good that will balance all of these imbalances out. We have to know that it's there. We can't second guess it. We have to know and embody, because that's what we call faith. Our faith is really being tried right now. Really, along with my patience. Along with our patience, don't you think? But we have to know that for everything that we put into the universe, every demand we make upon the universe, there is a supply that will actually come in, fill it up, resolve this. Everything has yet to be healed. Now, we don't know how yet. That's the frustrating part. All of us want to know the how right now. I want to know how this is going to work its way out. The how is unknown. The what, though, is something we can all agree on. There's a unified front about what we believe needs to unfold. Hidden within any problem is its own solution. Hidden within disease, dysfunction, disharmony, and desperation is its own healing, because at the center of everything, as Whitman said, nestles the seed of perfection. At the center of everything nestles the seed of perfection. At the center of disease, dysfunction, disharmony nestles the seed of perfection. It is very difficult to see when we're in it. Does that make sense? Because we don't see that little seed. All we see is the condition. And if we would remember to remember, then we would know that there is a seed of perfection trying to make its way forward. As painful as it is, it's making its way forward. There is some seed of perfection unfolding. Now, that doesn't mean that every time it's going to feel right? It doesn't feel right when you're going through it. But we have to know, we stand in faith knowing that the seed of perfection exists in this situation. And then we call out to the universe and say, and I demand to see that. Show it to me now. Prove yourself now that you're not opening up that door. Prove yourself now. And I believe that it is. Like I said, I may not like the alarm, but I certainly like what the alarm has generated in terms of interest. Conversation. I may not like the way the alarms are going off, but I've never been one to like alarms anyway. But I have to know, and we have to know, that there is something wrestling its way out of that seed. That seed is moving. I bet when you plant a seed, and I bet it busts out of whatever that seed is, I bet when the seed finally busts out, it's like, ouch. But okay. Now I start growing. Until then, it's just potential. The only limitation we have is the one our thought imposes. And right now, my thought is imposing a lot of limitation. How, in God's name, are we going to work this out? What are we going to do? This can't possibly resolve itself. How is this going to resolve itself? And so the only limitation is the one that I'm imposing upon the universe by my belief going, okay, God, I don't think this is going to work out. I'm just really nervous about this whole thing. Our dialogue a lot of times will really derail the good unfolding. And let me tell you what, all you have to do is turn on the television at any given moment and you will have so much dialogue that will upset you in all of it, because it's an upsetting situation. You can't escape what it is. Together, please. The universe can never be defeated. Everything in life is the process of a higher idea unfolding. I belong in the scheme of the universe. There is nothing to be afraid of. I am safe. In many cases, there is no coming to consciousness without pain. That's what this is. This is coming to the consciousness that Kevin sang in both of his songs. The consciousness of kindness, the consciousness of love, the consciousness of a new world. All of that consciousness is unfolding, but it comes at a price, and the price is discomfort. You can't pretend that this doesn't exist. The price is that I have to go through the uncomfortable to get to the consciousness of healing. I have to move through that process myself in my own mental process, and as a faith community and as a country, we have to move through these processes so we can get to the place where the consciousness is one of acceptance and what we say, building a world that works for everyone. That consciousness isn't going to come easily. We hope it would, we wish it would, but it's not going to come easily because there are a lot of people that are not running on the same vibration we are. But that doesn't mean we still can't raise the frequency of the vibration of all of the rest of us. Does that make sense? As God thought makes our world and peoples them with living things, so our thought makes our world and peoples them with our experiences. This has been peopled. Every side of this thing has been peopled through an experience. And I have to tell you, I struggle with this. I struggle like everyone else in this room struggles with this. How could this possibly be God expressing? Because it just doesn't make sense. How could God people this idea? Because in my mind, it just doesn't make sense. But I have to look at what I said in the earlier affirmation. If everything is unfolding for a higher purpose, then this too needs to surface so we can heal whatever we can heal in this process. And it's up to us to have that consciousness that it can be and is being done. Not can be, that's future. It is being done. You know, it's like how every time we talk about how there's an incident and then there's the first responders, right? We always talk about how the first responders outnumber the incident or those who perpetrated an incident. I want you to think about that in this situation. You are all first responders to this. Yes. See, there's concurrence, even with the young one. You know what? Let me. She's adorable. Come here. Let me see. Come here. You know what? See, come here. I'm not gonna. Don't. Look. You know what? Yes. Yeah. See. You know what? Children are not born hating. Children are not born as racist. Children are not born, looking at anything other than clapping for people and looking at the world through those eyes. We need to become more like this. Very good. I'll pay you later. Okay, good. Go ahead. Go on. Oh. Not for another 10 years. All right. This one I have to put out there because I'm struggling with this. Don't let the difficult time and search for the right things to say injure great relationships. Be patient with one another. Be more forgiving with one another. Be open to the idea that Spirit is working through all of us. I was with some friends in Los Angeles having dinner, and everybody's trying to be politically correct and going, I got to make sure I say this right. I got to make sure I say this right. Everybody's couching everything they say in I want to make sure I'm not perceived a certain way. And you know what? We have to be really gentle with each other right now. Sometimes the vocabulary isn't there. Sometimes we're not able to articulate the thoughts that we really want to articulate. Even though we're in the middle of a discussion, we have a hard time formulating and putting this together because it's such a confusing time. Cut everybody a break. Not everybody's going to be perfect in the way they execute their words in these conversations. I mean, I found myself going, okay, no, wait a minute, that's not what I meant. And you're going through this whole thing and wait, before you start calling me something or declaring something, before you start labeling me, just let's allow the process to unfold. Know that I'm working through something the way you're working through something, the way everybody at the table is working through something, and know that sometimes the perfect words just aren't going to be there. So we have to be more kind and forgiving than we've ever been with each other right now. Instead of being quick to label, instead of being quick to pass judgment, we need to be more kind and forgiving than we've ever been before. And that can be challenging. Because you're like, are you kidding me? But you know what? Many times it's just the fact that we are talking about issues now that are really difficult to articulate. And everyone wants to say the right thing the right way, but not everybody has the ability to do that, so they're afraid to even articulate their feelings, and that's part of the problem. We have to be able to be free to say, look, this is what I'm thinking, and I'm working my way through this. And be forgiving and be kind in the process. You know, one of my friends just jumped all over we're all best friends. I mean, what jumped all over him? I'm like, dude, back off. He's just processing. He's just processing. And so we have to be kind to one another. We're the first spiritual responders to this. In these conversations, you are one of the first spiritual responders. So make sure we're coming from that place of love. However we get there. Which at times, I know, because I'm one of you. My humanity surfaces all the time. You know? And I have to be forgiving. That's why today I was talking about, being kind to ourselves. We have to let ourselves sit in this. There is no confusion about what I believe and what I don't believe was right or wrong. There's no confusion. But sometimes in articulating different complex issues, it does come across like I am. But I'm really not. I'm very clear. Crystal clear. But I also know that this is a challenging time. And none of this makes sense, and none of it, no one's prepared to have these types of conversations. We thought we're past this. Obviously not. Just like every problem you thought you were past, but you didn't resolve fully. You know how when it came back later on? Till you did it, till you got it right? Maybe God, wherever you are, no one has the answer for any of it. All I have to know is that there is a higher idea unfolding, and a spiritual idea is unfolding, and the seed of perfection is nestled within that, and I have to do what I have to do to allow that to happen. I have to be kind, I have to be gentle, I have to be loving. Yes, I actually have to take a stand now and then. And I have to speak my truth. And maybe sometimes the words won't be perfect. I'm sorry. If you want perfect, this isn't the person. But I do the best I can, and I want us to do the best we can as a spiritual community. When you realize you've made a mistake, take immediate steps to correct it. When you do something that's wrong, don't wait. Take immediate steps to correct it. We live in a balanced universe. Remember that. For every injury, a healing is simultaneous in the mind of God. For every injury, the healing is simultaneous in the mind of God. Now, in the mind of God, that doesn't mean it's expressing itself, that to us that we have to be aware of it, we have to learn it, we have to embody it, we have to actually experience it, but the actual healing is instantaneous in the mind of God. Where there is a cut, the healing begins. Where there is a wound, the healing begins. Look at how quickly the first responders, the spiritual first responders, are responding to the injuries. It doesn't make it less harmful, but it makes it so that we know that the right thing is unfolding. Together, please. The universe cannot be defeated. Everything is in the process of a higher idea unfolding. I belong in the scheme of the universe. There is nothing to be afraid of. I am safe. Say the last one. I am safe. Say it again. I am safe. Doesn't mean you might not feel vulnerable, but you're safe. Lack of spiritual knowledge brings sadness and discomfort due to the lack of truth. So many times when we are feeling sadness, and I have felt profound sadness, and I have been very uncomfortable, and that's when I need to remember to remember. I have to remember that within this situation, there's a seed of perfection unfolding for a higher and greater good. And while, gosh darn it, it seems to be elusive at the moment, I have to know this, or why am I even on this journey? It calls into question all of the things we've been thinking about. If there's discomfort or sadness, it means we don't know the truth. And boy, I tell you what, I see a lot of discomfort and sadness expressing itself because people don't know the truth. Exactly. She's really helping me out. This is a complex one. When we go the opposite of where our own selfish love is leading us and come from a place of love, real love, then we begin to acknowledge our oneness with God. When I have what I think is love, which sometimes has conditions on it, a belief system around it, a paradigm around it, some sort of an idea of what I think should be right, what my mind thinks is right. When I come from that place, many times people fall out of the category of what I believe to be love. But if I approach it as God's love unfolding, remembering that everybody exists in the circle, then I have the ability to experience oneness. You can't have unity with such this divisiveness. The universe does not operate divided. It constantly is moving itself to a place of oneness. Now, again, the process may be challenging. The process may be difficult or understandable or elusive in its clarity at the moment. But we have to know that it is unfolding and it continues to unfold for its highest and best good. That's the place of love we lead from. That way, nobody falls outside of the circle. This is not about resisting and fighting ourselves to peace. It's about loving to peace. It's having the love of God, not the love in God. It's having the love of God be expressed to every part of this situation in our world right now. It's having the love of God come through means of us. It's not about fighting and resisting. That's saying God fights. Do we believe in a fighting God? We believe in a loving God. So what is going to counter anyone whose idea thinks that fighting is the answer? What is the counter? Love and kindness, compassion, and caring. That requires all of us to step up to that in a greater and a bigger way. Every one of us. And there's something two songs that Kevin chose today, beautiful choices. I mean, my God, they were like as if they were meant for this time, right? Meant for this experience that we're having, that we're moving through. I like that better. There is a new world coming. I totally believe it. And I believe that we're going to be a real part of it because we know that we're all working toward the one thing, where the world includes everybody. Black, white, straight, gay, the labels, just all the labels. The coloring box of colors and labels. Right? Where everybody belongs and every religion belongs and everybody has a purpose and everybody serves, because in the scheme of God, there can't be anything outside of that. We struggle with that because sometimes we don't believe in what's going on, but nothing can be outside of that. When we let go of the past, we're truly free to set the intentions and live from a new heart. When we let go of these situations, and allow ourselves to see that a greater good is unfolding. I'm not saying we sit passively. I'm not activating pacifism. I know people like to be active, so by all means, do what's right as long as you're doing it coming from a place of love, right? Love. Exactly. Strike. So when we're doing that from the place of love, but understand that the new heart has to come from somewhere, and we cannot hold over the angst of the old to bring in a new heart. You cannot pour old or new wine into old skins. Right? You cannot pour new wine into old skins. It's going to require us to get new skin. All of us. Which is a challenge because, boy, I tell you what, you try to change that, your whole paradigm shifts. Your whole all that stuff that you thought you knew, you don't know anymore. Kind of like ministerial training. All the stuff you thought you knew, you don't know anymore. I'm at a loss for words. I mean, it escapes me at times how frustrating this process is. But I always have to go back to the things that have been the hardest in my world, have been the most rewarding overall. If anybody's been in a 12-step program, if anybody's had a divorce, if anybody's had a medical issue, if anybody's had financial issues, okay, that covers everybody in this room. If not, check for a pulse, because I don't think you're here. They're the hardest to work through, but the greatest rewards. In the face of adversity and falsehoods, rise and live in love and peace like those who have gone before us. I look at Nelson Mandela. I look at Jesus the teacher. I look at just all sorts of spiritual leaders who stood in their truth, and they rose to that place of love. They didn't get in the ditch. They rose to the place of love. And they lived from that. So when we rise and live in a place of love and peace, at peace to one another, peace with one another, then we will see the changes occur. Accept our place in the heaven of this moment and know that the universe can never be defeated. There is heaven to be had in this moment. When one realizes that the universe can never be defeated and that I belong in this scheme and that I am safe and you are safe and there's nothing to be afraid of, that we will stand in our truth, we will stand in love, and we will take a stand like that. And we will know that we know that we know. Does that make sense? Because when you know that you know that you know, then you know. And then it feels okay. It's when I question whether I know or not. And it's with when people are able to get me to question whether I know or not. Then I'm really confused. But when I know, and I know, and you know, I know we know. And so we stand for that now. And we're kinder and more forgiving to one another than we've ever been before. We don't know why this is happening. We don't know how this is going to resolve itself, but something in the universe does. I don't have to know all the answers, believe it or not, because God does. In your own life and in the life of what we're experiencing right now. The universe does have an answer. It will be made known when it is meant to be made known, and I believe that things are already being made known just by experiencing what we're experiencing. But we trust now. Together, please. The universe can never be defeated. Everything in life is a process of a higher idea unfolding. I belong in the scheme of the universe. There is nothing to be afraid of. I am safe. And so end your lesson. Thank you.
Oh, thank you, Dr. Joe. When I was sitting there listening to him, I was thinking about what Barbara Marx Hubbard talks about childbirth, and that's what we're birthing, something new, something fabulous. And with every contraction, you think, why would you ever get pregnant again? But yet that's what's at the end. That is what is at the end. And so that's the vision we hold.
And so, you know what, Laura? Wait, take that one more step. Take that one more step. We have birthed, this is like having a second child. This is not the first time we're going through this. So this is like having a second child or a third child. This is a rebirth of something and a rebirth of something and a rebirth of something. We're constantly going through the rebirth. So you know what? We just have to know that this is a process. This is a part of the process of this happening.
Yes.
And it's part of the process of the growth. It's the process of the new thing. It's the birthing process. And it doesn't just happen once. It happens over and over and over and over again. You're right. Thank you. Sorry.
And we get to be better parents each time, right? But we talk a lot about creating a world that works for everyone. And sometimes right now, especially, we think, wow, this world, what is going on, not just in our country, but around the world. So I just wanted to take a moment before the ushers come forward just to share with you something that was shared with us at our Leadership Council meeting a couple of weeks ago by Dr. John Waterhouse. And this is according to a recent New York Times report. In the 1990s, 90% of the people on planet Earth lived in extreme poverty, defined as earning less than $2 per person per day. Today, it's 10% of the world is in extreme poverty. That's a huge shift. Now, I want these following things that I'm reading, I want you to remember this happens every day. Every day, 250,000 more people rise out of extreme poverty, and that resources the World Bank. 300,000 people get electricity in their homes for the first time. That's amazing. 285 people have access to clean drinking water for the first time. More than 80% of the world's population can now read. Over the past 30 years, more than 100 million children's lives have been saved through vaccinations, improved nutrition, and basic medical care. And many of the diseases that were routinely killing children have been virtually eradicated. So there are wonderful things also happening in our world. And so I want you to know that as you get ready to give your offering, that we are making a difference. You are making a difference in the world by being here every Sunday, by supporting this center every Sunday, and by taking these messages that you get every Sunday here and take them out into the world. You are changing the world. You are creating a world that works for everyone. So let's say our offertory prayer together, please. I give my offering with gratitude as I recognize the demonstration of Spirit's generosity in all areas of my life.
I release and I let go. Let the Spirit of my life. My heart is open wide. Yes, I'm only for God. No more struggle, no more strife. With my faith I see the light. I am free in the Spirit. Yes, I'm only for God. I believe and I let go. Let the Spirit of my life. My heart is open wide. Yes, I'm only for God. No more struggle, no more strife. With my faith I see the light. I am free in the Spirit. Yes, I'm only for God. I am free in the Spirit. Yes, I'm only for God. I am free in the Spirit. Yes, I'm only
Oh, how sweet. How precious. Yes. Oh, thank you for coming here today and filling this place with such love and joy. Yes. Yeah. You- yes. 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 She's got her own sermon going over here. It's all about love. Yes, it is. That's all she knows. All right, so let's hold up our hands. Let's bless our offering together, please. This collective offering is spirit in action. As it circulates into the universe, it touches and blesses many lives, and including my own. Hi. Do you want to talk? All right. So we're going to welcome our new people here today. So if you're here for the first time, please stand up. We have a gift for you. Anybody here for the first time? Welcome, welcome. Well, thank you. Thank you for coming. So right behind you there, we have a CD holder with information about our center, and please stop by the foyer and pick up a CD of Dr. Joe's talk, a couple of his talks, and come back. We hope you come back and make this your spiritual home, because look at how adorable we are. Why wouldn't you want to be here, right? And so over in our own room, this is our prayer team that's over there. They'll be over there. If you want any prayers for anything, please go over and see them. And what else, William? So this is what's going on this week. My class is continuing. It's a book study. You can drop in. We have some amazing conversations in there. And our Alzheimer's group, Dale's Sacred Circle, Michael's and Dale's class, the Heart Light class, the AA meeting, and Reverend Irma's meditation on Saturdays. We just have so much going on. And so I wanted to close today with a prayer. And this, I had copies of this made. This is a prayer that was inspired, that Kathy Ann Lewis from Seattle Center for Spiritual Living, and it's inspired by the famous prayer of St. Francis in response to the conflict in Charlottesville. So let's just take a deep breath in and just take this home. Say it every day, please. Father, Mother, God, make me an instrument of thy peace. Where people feel hatred, may my prayers for love be felt. Where there is fear, may my blessings of peace bring comfort. Where there are prejudices, may the Holy Spirit reveal the spiritual magnificence of all people. Where there is a human wounding, may divine healing take place. God, may all of my conversations, thoughts, and actions contribute to the rising up of love and goodwill in and for all people in this country that I love. Let it be so now, and so it is. Amen. Have a wonderful week, everyone.
You don't know me, but I'm your God.